Brian Shirley has provided an update on what happened that caused his vehicle to turn into a blazing inferno down there Tuesday night at Needmore Speedway in Georgia. Before we get to that, let's just take a look at what happened to his vehicle. This is over on X. You can follow me, JF Trent Racing. Here you go.
Oh, and a big fire. Get out of there. Steering wheel is off. He's getting those belts off. Here comes the safety crew. Red flag is out on the speedway. Brian Shirley getting ready to climb out of the automobile. He's got all that safety equipment on. And they got the fire extinguishers right there trying to beat down the fire to give Brian Shirley a chance to get out of that race car. As it flares up again. Here he comes out of the car. Brian Shirley is out. They carry him into the end.
So that is what happened with his vehicle. Obviously, a little bit before that, he blew the motor. You could see all the smoke coming out of the car, and that happened for about a lap, and then he eventually came to rest right here, just outside of turn 2. So he was able to inspect the car, and he posted an update late last night, 1 a.m. in the morning or early this morning, over on Facebook, and he says, I think it's time to clear the air about Tuesday night. First off, let's stop blaming parts, lines, or products that didn't cause the issue. The motor hurt a piston while going into the corner, and unfortunately, it went diesel. From there, flames shot out the exhaust, igniting the tire and quarter panel. The heat melted the bladder in the fuel cell, leaving fuel in an aluminum can that wasn't fully welded, causing it to spray out the corner of the fuel cell. So why was the gas spraying out? Because the motor was still running and the fuel pump runs off an oil pump on the back of the motor. The fuel system in the car has a constant flow of pressure going back and forth to the motor from the fuel cell, which couldn't shut off while the motor was running. This meant it was needing fuel to the fire this meant it was feeding fuel to the fire until the motor finally blew up, shutting down the fuel pump and allowing them to put the fire out completely. The owner of the fuel cell company came by today to personally inspect the cell. It did its job. The cell and the foam inside kept the fuel from exploding. He has some ideas on how to make it safer, and while the fuel cell could technically be reused, we obviously won't be doing that. He took it with him for research and development. A bunch of folks, including Steve Arpin, Longhorn Chassis, Rumley, Rick Schwally, Steve Francis, FSC Fire Extinguisher, and drivers have been communicating to learn from this dangerous situation. Thankfully, no one got hurt. Praise God for that. All my lines are from Brown and Miller, from fuel to oil lines, braided, and they all look brand new. None of them failed or busted. If they had, the fire would have spread way faster to the front of the car. Even my brake lines stayed intact. I believe no one builds a product intending for anyone to get hurt. Racing is dangerous and not perfect, but all the right people are coming together to figure out how to prevent this from happening again. So please, let's stop assuming or blaming innocent people. Everyone is just doing their job to make things better. Thanks for understanding. So that is what Brian Shirley had to say, and that is his explanation on what happened that caused his car to turn into a fireball, be consumed in an inferno Tuesday night down there at Needmore. He also posted this a little bit earlier that he will be at Alltech Raceway tonight, Thursday, with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. He says everything is pulled off and Smokey is heading north at 4 a.m. to Longhorn. She'll be back in action as soon as possible. We'll pull out Old Faithful tomorrow night for Alltech Raceway to take on the Lucas boys. So he is going to be back in action tonight after being surviving that inferno and coming out unscathed. So truly, I think a miracle happened there that he was able to get out of that car safely. He wasn't even injured at all, and he's going to be back in action tonight. Just shows how powerful God is there. So good to see that. We'll be watching tonight as he takes on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at Alltech down there. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.